Okay, so this is the Far Cry 5 All Outpost Virgin Grounded speedrun, and the time is gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, time.
Okay, so this is ChiefSupreme. Welcome to the speedrun. What he's doing right now is he's using his binoculars to zoom in on locations. And what that does is actually discovers the location and gives him the ability to fast travel to that location later. And you might notice that FOV is pretty awful because we have to use 60 FOV in order to mark some of these faraway locations.
Yeah, and so these locations are all locations that we use later on to get to outpost more quickly.
Yeah,
And
it saves quite a bit of time because you don't have to physically drive or, travel there at all.
yeah, and here I just threw a proximity explosive that kills 3 enemies in one go right there, and that gives me the challenge proximity explosive kills, which we need to buy black market later.
So the black market perk is a perk that allows you to purchase armor-piercing rounds, which is going to be extremely helpful for clearing enemies quickly.
Yeah.
There's angels that are a bit more powerful. There's VIPs that are a bit more powerful, and the AP ammo just mows right through them. So, quick word on the category. It's all outposts, virgin grounded. Virgin meaning it's never been done before, meaning that the outposts are all fresh and unconquered, unliberated, and it starts right after the tutorial and the cutscenes and the intro and things like that. So the action starts immediately. You don't have to wait for cutscenes. You don't have to wait for tutorials to finish. So you are limited on the resources you can start with to only the resources that would be possible to collect on Dutch's Island, as well as a few extra rewards and things like that that you get from some explosive packs and just things that actually are unable to be removed once you have them. And grounded means that he's not allowed to use aircraft. So he has to drive or boat or run everywhere. There's a helicopter in this game that has rockets and guns, and it makes the run extremely easy. It's still fun, but not as fun as restricting to just grounded vehicles and travel. So he's taken over all the outposts by hand with guns, knives, explosives, whatever he can use to kill people quickly.
Okay, and now we're going into Copperhead, which there are different ways to do this outpost. Oh my god.
Alarm.
So yeah, this completely went wrong. But
Hey, as long as we don't hit alarms, you're gonna be good.
it's still okay. There's the last enemy. Even though we lost like 15 seconds there, it's okay.
Yeah, so what he's doing here is as the outpost clears, it puts you into this slow motion effect. And the goal at that point is to get back in your vehicle to be spawned immediately into the vehicle. As you can see, he's in the vehicle now rather than waiting for, rather than having to run and spawn a new vehicle. Getting in right at the end allows him to drive to the next outpost immediately. So there's 19 outposts total scattered over the map. And there's 3 regions. There's John's region, which he's in now. There's Jacob's region, and there's Faith's region. He's done 2 of the 19 outposts already, and we're what, only a few minutes in?
Yeah, we're 3.5 minutes in about.
Yeah, so on average, it's going to be about a minute and a half to a minute and 45 seconds per outpost. That includes driving to the outpost and clearing the outpost.
Yeah. You may saw me aim my gun at the shed there. That's to tag something that we fast travel to later.
And here he's parking right on the ledge. Now, it might seem faster to run around this outpost and kill all the enemies, but they scatter. This is the worst outpost ever. They just run wherever the heck they want to go. And right now he's just picking off everybody from this ledge so
Yeah,
that he can again get straight back in the car.
Yeah, so it's completely random, and we got some pretty bad RNG. Yeah, if this guy goes here, you pretty much can't get a fast time. Because if someone is inside the building, doesn't matter how quickly you kill all the other enemies inside the outside of the building. You can't kill the last enemy, so you can't complete the outpost.
There is a wasp nest,
Yeah,
which
I shot the
contains
wasp nest.
bees for some reason. But that's also some RNG because if the enemies are clustered close enough to it, then they all die to the wasp nest. But the last guy just didn't want to die. So he probably lost 10 seconds there like normal.
Yeah, it can be very quick if you get the right RNG. Okay, so that was actually a very quick sunrise. That was perfect. Sometimes on sunrise, those two enemies near the barn, they can also be in like different spots. Sometimes someone is like completely inside the barn and then you need to walk a bit. So the enemies should be all in the correct places every time, but in practice, sometimes they're not. Also, something you might have noticed is we grabbed some sacks in at the first outpost, and that is used to craft Ultimate Hunter, homeopathics, and can also be used to craft from other ones, but Ultimate Hunter is the most important. And we actually got 4 Prairie Fire and some Jimson Wheat,
sick.
which is that is basically perfect RNG. So I just craft 2 Ultimate Hunters, and we don't need to pretty much get to any Prairie Fire from any other places in the run. There's
So on the island, where you start, there's no prairie fire at all. So you can only get like 3 Jimson weed and you can get 7 mustard, but you need 2 of each to craft 1 ultimate hunter. And what that does is it tags every enemy that's in your location, which is extremely helpful in the last 3 outposts. So he'll use that on the 3rd to last outpost, which will also last until the 2nd to last outpost, and then he'll fast travel to complete the run, and use another ultimate hunter on the last outpost to tag everybody. And Marijn has some amazing aiming skills, as you might notice. So he'll be able to just click heads and kill everybody really quickly with the tagged enemies.
Yeah, it really helps, especially if you don't know where the enemies are. The better you get, really, the less it matters that you have Ultimate Hunter, but on the last outposts, there are a lot of enemies.
So this should be the 5th outpost now. What he just did was more binocular tagging there, which saves a lot of time because it gets him closer to US Auto and also gets him a lot closer to Seed Ranch.
Okay, that was a great camp.
Nice. So he's also right now, he's looking away from the van. Because if you are looking at the van whenever you spawn back in here, the van won't spawn. So he runs with his back towards the van. And he's about to do a trick here. It was pretty quick, but he did a ammo type change. And before the animation could complete, he got in the van, then fast traveled. If you fast travel while switching ammo type, it will fill up your mag and also give you an extra mag. So it's a trick to get extra AP ammo. He just threw a proximity right there because there's a truck that comes later that will run into it. Okay, that enemy just went... Okay, actually, that was not too bad.
Oh, and we need to get into the car here, which is close, and we got it. That saves like 10 seconds probably towards not getting into the car. Because the backup car is slower and you need to get to the backup car. That was actually, a great US Auto.
I was a little worried because the enemies needed revived, and when they need revived, instead of dying, uh, there's an extra enemy in that outpost that still counts until you've killed everybody completely. But if they need revived, he sometimes starts the count. It's kind of odd.
Yeah, so
Because
specifically on US Auto, you need to kill the knockdown enemies, not really on any other outposts.
so that should be 6 outposts.
Yeah.
So he's done 6 out of 19 outposts now. And he has perfect plant RNG. So he has the ultimate hunters already. So only 1 outpost I think you weren't happy with. So it's looking pretty good so far.
Copperhead was, and the first one, but, yeah. After that, it went pretty well. So here we'll take one more place.
And then he switches his FOV. So he's still in 60, he's going to 85 or higher, maybe.
Or lower. I just aim about between like 83 and 87, and then I hope it's about right there.
So we used to run starting at 85, or no, we would start at 60, then we change it to 85, then we'd switch it back to 60, then back to 85. So we just said, screw it, we're going to play at 60 for the first 6 outposts, and then switch it later. So we're in a normal FOV now. This is the stealth outpost. You gotta be real careful on that last shot, or that third shot actually, because if he gets knocked down, all the enemies run to him, and
yeah, that's
you lose a bunch of time.
But it went well, so that's nice.
Okay, so marking another spot.
Yeah.
Forgot to mention when he was doing this trick, but if when you get out of your vehicle, there's an animation of opening the door and stepping out, then closing the door. But if you jump out of your vehicle, when it's off the ground, it'll skip that animation and you just teleport out and can start running immediately. So any small little ramp or bump that we can hit near an outpost to get out quickly could save anywhere from 2 to 3 seconds, I'd say. And when there's 19 outposts, if you save 2 seconds on each one, for example, that'd be 38 seconds. Oh, this is going nicely.
So the last enemy can either sprint or he can walk like he does now, which is okay. So he he really doesn't like me here. Yeah.
Gosh.
But yeah. So this is the like luck aspect of this run, mostly how the enemies behave. Because he could have just also sprinted into my crosshair, and then I would have been like 5 seconds faster. But yeah, that's just what you got to deal with. Because sometimes it also it works in your favor. The enemies go somewhere they don't usually go, and then they're all suddenly dead.
And the unfortunate thing about that outpost and the last enemy is he's behind apparently a bulletproof staircase.
Yeah.
Some pieces of wood can be shot through and other ones can't. And that just happens to be one that you can't. So he's in a really awkward place. And since Marijn has to be close to the vehicle, he can't run away from there to shoot the guy. He has to be close enough to get in. Otherwise, he'll lose a lot of time on that one.
It will lose a lot more time to walk towards him and then maybe kill him a second or two earlier. But then I won't be in the car, which loses some like 10 seconds. So that's the decision making.
Okay, so he's in Faith's region now. This is the third outpost in Faith's region. And there's a total of 8 here. So the way the progress in this game works is that you gain resistance points by taking outposts, killing cult VIPs, rescuing hostages, doing missions. And as the resistance meter fills, the overall story progresses. So you'll start getting captured. In John's region, they send capture parties and they say, just one bullet will do it. And then they just unload everything they got on you, try to murder you. But then you get captured, you go into another cutscene. In Faith's region, this is the only one we have to worry about captures, because in Faith's region, they don't send enemies. You get drugged and you get blissed. So there's the drug that's used to control the population, or to manipulate the minds of the people in this region so the cult can take them over. It's called the bliss, and Faith will bliss you if you're on the ground. So you might see him jumping a lot or climbing up on things at the end of an outpost. That's to prevent getting blissed. As long as you're off the ground, you won't get blissed.
Or you're in a vehicle, fortunately.
Yeah. Now, if something bad happens and he gets blissed, he's going to have to Alt F4 and start the game over again.
Yeah, that's by far the fastest way to save it.
It's a 5-minute time loss if he gets blissed. Unless he Alt F4s.
Yeah, if you Alt F4, it's like a minute. Okay, that was not that great, the outpost, but fortunately we got the car, which is good RNG. You can also get a quad at that spot, which is about 7 seconds slower. And it's just RNG. 50-50 chance.
Okay, so this is the last spot that he's marking with the binoculars. Unless I'm forgetting one.
I think it's the last one.
You can explain this one.
Yeah, so here you look towards the boat here, and it's again, it's random.
Oh, that's fast.
Yeah, it was pretty fast. Between like 1 and 8 seconds, this boat can spawn, an average of about 4, I'd say. And then you get into the boat. This is the quickest way to get to Elk Jaw. We tagged this earlier, all the way in the beginning. And I popped the fasting perfect here because I need to swim. And this is one of the more useful places to use a fasting perfect, because in the outpost you also run a lot. So right before I hit the shore here, I'm gonna go out. Okay, I failed it. What can happen is you take the velocity of the vehicle with you, and then you get a big launch. Oh, this guy doesn't use. Oh, he doesn't usually go in there, but it was still a good LPR. And when you get to the velocity with you, you get a big launch, and then you can get to the outpost really quickly. And here we do a reload here to reposition the vehicle and reload your gun.
Yeah, Gezera said that he remembers getting knocked out by a drug dart while flying a helicopter. That's in Jacob's region. So in Jacob's region, which Marijn is in right now, this is the first outpost that he did. There's 4 outposts here. And there's also Barren Lumber Mill, which is not technically an outpost, so it's not done in this run, because the Barren Lumber Mill is like a story mission similar to Fall's End or the jail in Faith's region. But anyway, once you fill up the resistance meter enough, the hunter, the capture party of hunters with bows and wolves will come find you. And so what happened is you must have been shot down by an arrow. This is one region where you definitely cannot avoid, even while you're in a vehicle, getting captured. But luckily, there's only 4 outposts here. So we're not going to have to worry about it in this run, because he doesn't get enough resistance points to start the capture process.
We only really need to worry about it with Faith. There's a small chance you get blitzed even if you do everything right. Oh, we got detected here. I really hope it doesn't mess with the outpost. I think we're far enough. They don't look alert.
Yeah, that was almost really gross.
Oh, one enemy is a bit annoying here. Yeah. He went into the building, so I could kill him a bit later. But it was still okay.
So here there's a quad, guy on a quad from across the road that spawns. And yeah, he's usually the last enemy that you kill, but he doesn't seem like part of the outpost, although he is.
Yeah. He's pretty difficult to kill without armor-piercing bullets because you'd need to headshot him or hit like 3 body shots. But armor-piercing helps a lot there. Because you only need to hit 1 body shot on normal enemies. Although it's still preferable to hit a headshot, because once you body shot them, they can go down like you saw in US Auto. And on some outposts it's really bad because then they start screaming and alerting on the enemies. So yeah, usually I aim for the head. I always aim for the head.
The enemies don't scream nearly as badly as they do in New Dawn. It's just constant screaming. Okay, this is a really tricky part. I made sure I waited till after he was through. With the lag and all. But yeah, you can easily wreck your vehicle there. This is one of the most dangerous outposts because you can die pretty quickly to this heavy and that barrel that's behind you.
Yeah, I think
still a dog.
Yeah, so there the sniper usually dies because of one of the explosives I throw, but sometimes yeah, he doesn't die, which happened there.
Yeah, the sniper, if you're lucky, will get blasted off the roof, and he just dies to the fall damage.
Yeah, more times than not he does die, but sometimes it's a bit different. Maybe he got alerted, or I threw it slightly differently, the explosive.
Okay, so he's on his way to the last outpost in Jacob's region, and this one is a bit of a haul, so he's going to be driving for about a minute and a half. And Jacob's region is one region where I'd prefer to fly, but since this is the grounded version of the speedrun, and we're not allowed to use the aircraft, there's this really nice path that has a lot of off-roading, and a lot of potential to hit rocks or flip your vehicle or run into a flamethrower, but it goes pretty smoothly more often than not. So
Once I got one of these enemies that were on the road here, I got them stuck in my wheel. And then I lost 30 seconds because I needed to get out of my car and flip it over. But
yeah, so sometimes an enemy can get stuck, and it's hilarious though because when you have a van and the enemy is stuck and it looks like he's trying to reach inside your van to steal your candy or something. But it messes with the physics of the vehicle and puts you at about half speed. So, and there's no way to get them out without getting out and like picking up their body and moving them. So it's pretty much a run killer.
Yeah. So I used single fire here actually, because I felt that it was a bit more consistent. Because if you miss shots with auto fire, the enemies get alerted very quickly. So this used to be a really inconsistent, difficult outpost, but with current strats, it's pretty consistent. But as I said, that it's probably gonna fail now.
Yeah, the biggest thing with these outposts is knowing where all the enemies are. And this is one that is definitely a bit difficult to learn until you've done it a lot. Okay, that's horrible because the enemy went down. They're going to all start moving.
Yeah, so this is really bad. So now the last enemy is most likely going up there. Oh, no, oh, fortunately, He went out. It was still a pretty bad ping
Ooh.
KO, but I don't know why he didn't go for the revive there. So that's why there was a bit of a skill issue on my part, because I body shot the sniper there. It's a pretty difficult long range shot, but yeah. If you body shot him, I don't know what the chance is, but it's a pretty high chance that he goes down and doesn't fully die, and then enemies will want to revive him.
So I believe he's going to do the launch strat here, where he jumps out of the vehicle
Yeah, I'm gonna.
and skips the animation. But one thing we didn't mention at all was that uh, there are a lot of locations that you can travel to while you're inside a vehicle, and the vehicle will travel with you. But there's also some locations that will not allow you to bring the vehicle with you. So what we've done is we've figured out all the locations that allow you to bring vehicles with you and work those into the route. We used to think it was just random whether you would keep it or not. But there's actually locations that do let you bring your vehicle with you and locations that don't.
Yeah.
And the same thing with New Dawn, which is the sequel to this. I was hoping they'd have that in 6 as well, but they took it away for being too much fun.
Yeah.
Along with a lot of other cool things.
Just like the charging mechanic in Far Cry 5, they took it away in New Dawn. It's the fastest way to travel around in 5.
Oh yeah, there's a melee boost that he does, where you basically do powered melee attacks and switch to another melee weapon before the animation has a chance to complete. And you just do that back to back to travel, and it's a lot faster. It's about 20% faster to travel that way.
And that was
Just nice and smooth.
an insane Sacred Skies to beat my gold by 2 seconds.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah, that was sick. I'm actually 12 seconds ahead of my PB right now. Oh,
What?
Yeah, I'm ahead. I did just make a bit of a mess up. So there is a chance that I PB here. Although the ending of my run is a lot better than the beginning, so I wouldn't get your hopes up too quickly.
So you noticed the mistake he's talking about is he jumped and grabbed the van and started climbing on it. And the reason that happened is because he is now in bliss mode. He's about to get blissed.
Yeah.
You see the effect on the screen and stuff, but if he doesn't jump, if he doesn't stay off the ground and climb up on things after the outpost, he will get blissed immediately, and you'll see him rage.
Yeah, that loses a lot of time. It kills a lot of runs. Oh, and there.
But we don't rage quit here. We rage continue.
Yeah, we rage continue. I hope this car goes straight. Yes, yes. If they turned, it would have been a real issue, but unfortunately they didn't. I'm gonna pop 2 homeopathics here quickly, and then I'm gonna really need to focus.
Okay, so he's gonna take the fast. He's gonna take an ultimate hunter. Alright, see what happened. He actually popped out the wrong side. He moved to the passenger side there because the tree was in the way when he tried to get out. So it loses a few seconds. Oh, this is looking juicy. Come on, run this way. Run this way, baby.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, I went too far, maybe. Oh, wait. Maybe I jumped too far and
Should
then
be okay. Should be okay.
No, okay. Oh, no. Okay, at least I didn't get blissed. I don't care that I lost a bit of time.
Nice.
Oh.
That was sick.
So I tried to go onto the white boxes there, and I spam jump because on top of the boxes is the fastest. But when I jump all the way over the boxes, I'm too far, and I still can't get blissed.
Yeah, the goal is to stay off the ground after an outpost.
Yeah. So on boxes or inside buildings, I also think you can't get blissed.
So you see all the enemies are being tagged right now. That's because he has the ultimate hunter on, and see on the right side, he has a little countdown timer with the paw and the green outline. So we're hoping that stays until this outpost and he can tag everybody here. He did that last one so fast that he actually has plenty of time for it. He still has the fast going as well. Pop heads.
I need to be really quickly pop the alarms here. Oh, that was a bit of a joke. But still, no alarms got popped, even though I got detected at the beginning, so that's still very nice. So I'm 15 seconds ahead of my PB right now. While
All right,
we're going
into
into
Seed
the last
Ranch.
outpost.
This is the last outpost coming up. And I'm not going to talk.
Yeah, so this outpost it's not the easiest outpost. It's I think definitely top 3, this outpost. Also because you practice it the least. We have found a semi-consistent threat to do this, but still you can get detected and then the enemies can scatter. With Wildland it gets a bit more consistent, but it's difficult, so.
I'm just going to have a moment of silence here.
Business to take care of. That place is being used to harvest flowers for all the bliss, and we gotta shut it down for good. Start by burning those fields of flowers. That should lure out Feeney, the guy in charge. As soon as he shows...
And I got a great PB on this run. I got a 2908. A 2908. Oh. This is my best run in like I've been running this for 3 weeks and
No way, dude. You did not just do this.
yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And you're all worried about it. Nice job, bro. Great job.
Just for verification, because I'm gonna submit this, I think. Here are all the outposts that I completed.
Very good.
And that's a crazy time. Well, thank you, Shots Fired, for hosting my run.
Check out speedrun.com/Marijn Strider.
Yes. I think my Twitch is tagged in the title, so if you want to see more.
Yeah, just put a bunch of extra J's in there and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Good job, man.